of the Mesquite Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code Chapter 551. Oh. At this point, I would like to call Terry Roy Jr. to do the invocation. There you are. Thank you. After the invocation, we'll have our kids from the Austin Elementary School do the pledge. Thank you. Please stand.
Yes. Amen. Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask you, we come before you humbly, thanking you for this meeting on tonight. We ask that you would bless this meeting, Father. We ask that you would bless the school board members. We ask that you would bless our principals, vice principals, counselors, teachers, and students. We ask for protection, strength, wisdom, favor, knowledge, and understanding. All these blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please stand for the pledge. Now for the Texas pledge.
Yeah, get up. Yeah.
My name is James, and I'm in fifth grade. My name is Sebastian, and I'm in fifth grade. My name is Olivia, and I'm in fourth grade. My name is Abby. My name is Abby, and I'm in fifth grade. And I'm in kindergarten.
Thank you very much, kids. And we want to thank Dr. Royal for bringing his kids in. Thank you. Okay. With that, let's go to the moment of 8. Team of 8 moment. Does any board member have anything that they want to share?
We have some great high school bands that are right now doing state. They are there, they're on the way. They're like reaching for their dreams. It's fantastic.
North and Poteet.
North and Poteet, yeah. So good luck, y'all. If y'all are watching online, go for it.
Yeah.
When do they find out?
Well, they'll find out tonight, maybe, hopefully, while we're here, if they make it to the finals tomorrow.
No.
So we'll know. Hopefully, before this meeting ends, we'll find out.
Cool.
Good. Excellent. Okay. Next, we're going to the student and guest section. Ms. Smith?
So we begin tonight's special recognition portion of the meeting with the prestigious Apple Corps program. The Apple Corps Award is made possible by a partnership between Mesquite Education Foundation and Clay Cooley of Mesquite. We'd like to thank both of them for their support of our amazing educators. Our first November honoree is Chandra Holland of Mesquite Academy. Ms. Holland is a 7th and 8th grade social studies teacher with 21 years of teaching experience in Mesquite ISD. Let's take a look at what makes her an Apple Corps teacher.
Ms. Holland is great at structure and providing engagement for our students. Many times our middle school students come with several gaps, and she's able to fill those gaps with good foundation and structure. She's also big on making sure our social and emotional segment of the school is running well, and she has different positive activities that she's working on throughout the campus. She's very well-rounded. She does everything to provide a positive environment here at Mesquite Academy. So the Apple Corps nomination that she has received is well-deserved. So congratulations, Ms. Howard.
So teaching is important because it's like everybody says, the children are our future. Part of the reason why I became a teacher goes back to Horace Mann's quote that education is a great equalizer. And I think it's important that we give children opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have if they weren't at school, and expose them to the world through learning and through books and through just technology and various mediums and through our own personal knowledge. And helping kids to grow is something that's important to me, and it brings out a light in me as I bring out a light in the kids.
Ms. Holland, please come forward. Welcome to Mesquite ISD Apple Corps.
He reads this proclamation. Whereas the Mesquite Independent School District Board of Trustees seeks to honor outstanding classroom teachers who demonstrate leadership, innovation, and dedication to the students of Mesquite ISD, and whereas the Mesquite ISD Apple Corps consists of exceptional teachers nominated by their peers to receive the school district's highest recognition, therefore be it resolved that the board officially welcomes Chandra Holland into the Mesquite ISD Apple Corps on this 10th day of November, 2025. Thank you so much for what you do every day.
Thank you, guys. Oftentimes we do things and we kind of go overlooked or unappreciated, and I'm really thankful that the district takes the time to do this all the time to try to recognize our efforts in the classroom. And I'm grateful to all the teachers that nominated me and my principal for approving it, and all of my students, and just my entire experience at the school district has been pleasant, and I'm just grateful for an opportunity to be honored and to get reciprocation for things that you work hard and you know, it's just great to have recognition, that's all. Thank you.
Our next honoree this evening into Mesquite ISD's Apple Corps is Wendy Swanner of Motley Elementary School. Ms. Swanner is a special education teacher with 25 years of teaching experience right here at Mesquite ISD. If you'll turn your attention to the screens, we'll learn more about Ms. Swanner.
We want to congratulate Ms. Swanner this year on being our Motley Elementary Apple Corps recipient. She is amazing. She's a hard worker, a team player. She's an advocate for her students. She's the first one here every morning to greet students. And I just love working with her. It's been my pleasure to work with her for 25 years. And again, just congratulations, Ms. Swanner. We're so happy for you and so proud of you, and you deserve this award.
I love working with unique learners because I get to build relationships with the students, their families, the general ed teachers, try to build on their challenges and celebrate their strengths, use that as a way to grow them every day. I like getting to follow my kids throughout the years, building on their growth every year, and hopefully when they move on to secondary, they love learning, they're confident, and they can self-advocate for what they need.
Ms. Swanner, congratulations.
Wendy, it's my privilege to be able to read this proclamation to you. Whereas the Mesquite Independent School District Board of Trustees seeks to honor outstanding classroom teachers who demonstrate leadership, innovation, and dedication to the students of Mesquite ISD. And whereas the Mesquite ISD Apple Corps consists of exceptional teachers nominated by their peers to receive the school district's highest recognition. Therefore, be it resolved that the board officially welcomes Wendy Swanner into the Mesquite ISD Apple Corps on this 10th day of November 2025. Wendy, thank you so much for all you do. Very proud of you. Like that. And be careful with that because it's heavy. Thank you so much.
Family and friends, thank you very much for this honor, and thank you for being so supportive of students and teachers. This is truly the best school district. I'm so honored to be chosen as an Apple Corps teacher. This recognition means a lot to me, but it reflects something bigger. It represents the heart and the teamwork of everyone who supports our students every day. This work is not done alone. I am surrounded by an incredible team. Teachers, some of who are here tonight, and some watching, support staff. I have amazing paras, past and present, and administrators, Ms. Juarez and Dr. Delamar, who share the same mission, and that's to make every child feel seen, valued, and capable of greatness. I want to thank my Motley family for being the greatest school on the planet. Thank you for this honor and for allowing me to do the work that I love in a district that believes that every student learns every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both of you. Before we continue, Ms. Holland, do you have any family here, immediate family that you want to introduce?
Yes. I have my dad and my mom's mom and my aunt.
Oh, good. Stand and be recognized, please. And you have your Mesquite Academy family? I think you have your principal back there.
Mr. Williams.
Thank you for being here. Ms. Warner, the same. You have your family?
Yeah, my kids are also here tonight.
Stand and be recognized. Come on. Thank you. And your Motley family? I see your principal over there. Good. Thank you for being here. We love that you are both supported so well. Thank you. Next, I guess we're going to go downstairs, right? Ms. Smith?
Okay, each month, one of our outstanding paraprofessionals is recognized with the Star Para Award. MISD is excited to partner with First Financial Group of America, or FFGA, to provide the Star Para recipient with a gift card. We're grateful to have a representative from FFGA here tonight. If you would please join Porter Elementary School Principal Leanne Englert with our November Star Para, Idias Martinez, at the podium. Principal Englert will now share what makes Ms. Martinez so special.
Does Ms. Martinez need to stand there with you all, or? Good evening, our amazing board, Dr. Rivera. This evening, it's my honor to introduce our star paraprofessional, Ms. Martinez from Porter Elementary School. Ms. Martinez goes above and beyond every single day in her role as a paraprofessional. She is the kind of teammate every teacher dreams of having, proactive, dependable, and deeply dedicated to student success. Ms. Martinez doesn't wait to be asked for help. She sees a need and she steps right in. Whether she's pulling small groups for math intervention, supporting transitions, or creating beautiful classroom and hallway displays, she does it all with creativity, care, and a smile. Her impact on student learning is remarkable. Some of our students need extra support in math, but with Ms. Martinez's consistent small group support and her tireless instruction in foundational skills, those same students make tremendous growth, some even meeting or exceeding grade level standards. Ms. Martinez's kindness and calm presence set her apart. She treats every child with patience and respect, even in challenging moments, and students respond to her warmth and guidance. With over 21 years of service to our district and 28 years in education, having taught in Mexico, Ms. Martinez has supported learning from kindergarten through 5th grade in both bilingual and monolingual settings. Beyond instruction, she's deeply rooted in our Porter culture, helping with campus events, decorations, and celebrations that make our school a welcoming and joyful place. Ms. Martinez truly embodies Porter pride through her dedication, her creativity, and her heart. We are so proud to recognize her tonight as our star paraprofessional.
All right, congratulations. Up next, we are pleased to recognize our November community partner for their support of our schools and students. Atmos Energy recently donated $10,000 to Read Play Talk in support of the Lena Start program, which provides families with children under the age of 3 tools to build strong early language habits. In addition, they donated $7,000 earlier this year to help fund a book vending machine at McKenzie Elementary. We have a special video to show you more about this amazing partnership.
This month, we are recognizing Atmos Energy as our featured Mesquite ISD community partner. Over the last 6 months, Atmos Energy has made 2 large donations to Mesquite ISD students. They made a $7,000 donation to help support a book vending machine at McKenzie Elementary School, and recently they made a $10,000 donation to support Lena Start on our elementary campuses.
Well, through our Fueling Safe and Thriving community initiatives, one of our pillars of giving is kids, and under our kids pillar, we are committed to children reading proficiently by the 3rd grade, and honestly, it starts at infancy.
This is opening the door for them to choose their own book that belongs to them. Those words that are pictured in those books are going to be words that belong to them, words that are going to be tied to them for the remainder of their lives.
We're fostering the love of reading by recognizing them for good attendance, good behavior, showing our characteristics from our houses, and so we're so excited for the impact it's going to have.
Atmos Energy and Mesquite ISD Education Foundation put that generous donation in our hands to purchase it for them. And so they are literally just pouring in to the lives of our learners that walk in McKenzie Elementary.
Thank you, Atmos Energy, for your support of Mesquite ISD students and helping to ensure that all of our students are reading on grade level by 3rd grade.
Thank you to our friends at Atmos Energy. All right. Now we are going to have an opportunity to introduce you to some very special student athletes as part of our student recognition portion of the program. We have some young people here who have achieved excellence in athletics this fall. First up, the Poteet High School tennis team, here with their coach, Phil Gordon. They finished the season as by-district champions. So welcome and congratulations, Pirates. All right. Next up, from Mesquite High School, the tennis team finished their season as by-district champions with the Skeeters and their coach, Linda Howig. Welcome and congratulations on an excellent season.
All right, congratulations, Skeeters. Nope, a couple more. These pictures will be on our Facebook tomorrow if anybody missed it. Next up, we have the North Mesquite High School tennis team, also finishing the season as by-district champions. Come on in, Stallions. They're here today representing the team with their coach, Hernando Ledesma. All right, your North Mesquite Stallions tennis team. Congratulations. All right, now we have we're going to meet some exceptional cross-country athletes. First up, from Poteet High School, we have senior Alexa Harris. She is an individual regional qualifier cross-country. Congratulations. She's here with Coach Shayla Prince. All right, congratulations. Next up from Horn High School, we have Emily Salmorian, sophomore, another individual regional qualifier. All right, and Emily, stay right there because your team is going to join you. These are second place in District 14-5A, the Horn Girls Cross Country team. Also regional qualifiers. They're here with their coach, Renike Williams. All right, congratulations. Next up, from West Mesquite High School, we have Joshua Marquez, a junior. He was the individual regional qualifier, West Mesquite. Come on up. Joshua. Okay, good. There you go. All right. Also from West Mesquite High School, don't run off. Joshua, but go, no, you go ahead. Emma Muniz Lopez, she's a freshman cross country. She was district silver medalist and an individual regional qualifier. Emma Muniz Lopez from West Mesquite High School. Okay, and from West Mesquite High School, Dayanara Avarello, a senior, another individual regional qualifier for the Wranglers. All right, and joining them, the entire team placed third in District 14-5A and were regional qualifiers. Come on up. The representatives from the team are here today with Coach Tiana King. Your West Mesquite Wranglers boys and girls cross country team, regional qualifiers. All right, congratulations, Wranglers. Next up, from North Mesquite High School, we have Allison Oveye, a freshman individual regional qualifier. Congratulations, Allison. Also from North Mesquite High School, cross country, Louis Mata, a sophomore, individual regional qualifier. Don't run off. Allison, if you just step to the side. We have Louis, a individual regional qualifier. Okay. Now, one more from North Mesquite High School, individual. This is junior Josh Loera, district silver medalist, regional qualifier, 4th place at regionals, making him a state qualifier for your Stallions. And with these successful athletes, the rest of the team, your boys and girls Stallions cross-country team, placed 2nd in District 14-5A. They were regional qualifiers. They're here tonight with their coach, Tara Jernigan. Congratulations, Stallions. All right, and this concludes our student recognition program. Congratulations to all these young people, and I will turn it back over to the board.
Okay, hold on a second. We're gonna take a break after this. We have the what? Consent? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, at this point, let me just approve, or the board, please. We're gonna go with the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion, unless you want to pull any item.
So moved.
There's a motion by Mr. Seward, second by Ms. Hornsby, to accept the consent agenda. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. We will do, we have the audience portion. Do we have anybody, Ms. Smith? Nobody? Okay. Well, with that, we will take, did you have any comments on the consent agenda? Nothing you want to say? Okay, good. With that, we'll take a 5-minute recess. Thank you. No. No. Then, first action is under personnel. Action 1 and 2 are approve administrative term contracts and resignation and new hires.
Yes, Mr. President, we have one administrative recommendation, and you received the information. And so before Ms. Smith goes on with the introduction, I believe this is an action item.
Okay. Board, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Move to approve.
Second. Touch my button.
There's a motion by Mr. Seward, a second by Ms. Collier to approve administrative term contracts, AP of Woolley Middle School. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What did we do?
All right, Ms. Smith, tell them what they just did.
It would be my pleasure to introduce to you the new assistant principal at Woolley Middle School, Anthony Fontana. Mr. Fontana
Oh, there you are.
Brings over 25 years of experience in public education, including more than 2 decades in campus and district leadership. He served as principal at both middle and high schools in Louisville ISD and Northwest ISD, and most recently as assistant principal at Carroll High School. Throughout his career, he has opened new campuses, led innovative professional learning initiatives, and been recognized as Louisville ISD's Secondary Assistant Principal of the Year. Fontana earned a Bachelor of Arts in Education from Texas Lutheran University and a Master of Educational Administration and Supervision from the University of North Texas. Welcome to MISD and Willie Middle School, Anthony Fontana.
Welcome to Mesquite ISD as an AP. Okay, next we're going to go to the business section. Item number 1 is an action item to approve independent audit for the 24-25 financial operation. Mr. Prado?
President Carbo, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rivera, thank you for having us tonight. Tonight we have Selena Cereceres from Willie Penn. She is the public sector partner in charge with Willie Penn, and Lauren Eaton's also here as well. Kimberly Chappelle, our Executive Director of Finance and Operations, the awesome Kimberly Chappelle, is also here. If any questions might come as we present to you the FY 2025 audit results. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Cereceres.
Thank you, Mr. Prado. President Carbo, members of the board, and Dr. Rivera, thank you for having us here tonight. And I do want to thank the manager that did all the heavy lifting, Lauren Eaton, and as Mr. Prado indicated, Kimberly Chappelle and her team members, especially Mary Martinez, who did all the heavy lifting on your team. It's very refreshing to have management team members like the ones you have at Mesquite ISD, where it's quite a task, an undertaking to go through this process, but they make it seem effortless. So we'll take you through the process. We started our planning as early as March and went into the April months looking at our risk assessment and determining what has changed at the district, not just from a financial reporting, but also from a federal programs perspective. During that process, we're looking at internal controls, and this is all to determine if we can rely on the controls once the district closes its books and we start looking at the substantive testing. We focus on various areas, which I'll get into here in a moment. The substantive testing happens about 45 to 60 days after fiscal year and after June 30th, around late August, early September, and we keep testing through the date of this report, especially when it comes to liabilities, and I'll go through that process as well. All of this is required to issue an opinion, and there's 3 types of opinions that we can issue, and they worsen as you move from left to right. So everyone wants an unmodified opinion, which means the users of the financial statements can rely on the figures presented. This includes the Texas Education Agency, other regulators, as well as rating agencies and financial advisors, et cetera. The areas of focus are shown here on the screen, and I always like to say the big 4 are critical to us: procurement, accounts payable, payroll, human resources, and of course information technology feeds all of these areas. PEIMS is required because we focus on not only the financial data transmission to the Texas Education Agency, but most importantly, your average daily attendance, which drives your state aid. And then we select federal programs for testing every year. They're not the same, but again, that's part of our risk assessment. And then we perform specific tests based on the Office of Management and Budget, or the OMB, compliance supplement that is issued every year. In the August-September timeframe, the 45 to 60 days subsequent to June 30th, we perform our substantive procedures, and there's 5 different main procedures that we perform, and the ones that give us the most comfort are confirmations with third parties or the third-party reports, confirmations for cash, investments, your bonds, et cetera. For your state aid, federal funding, anything that flows to the Texas Education Agency, we can download the TEA payment report as well as the summary of finances and those state aid payments to gain comfort on those revenues and the receivables as well. Because you spent more than $750,000 in federal funds, in fact, you spent $62 million in federal funds, you're required to have an audit in accordance with generally accepted government auditing standards, not just generally accepted auditing standards or GAS. The government auditing standards is also referred to as the Yellow Book. We're required to issue to reflect the opinion on the financial statements, which we are pleased to report that we are issuing an unmodified opinion with no internal control findings related to financial reporting or findings related to compliance. I know in previous years we've had recommendations for improvement. A lot of those have been resolved, and so again, kudos to your management team for resolving those areas. This next slide is a little bit different. Come December, maybe January, maybe even February, you're going to approve the report over your federal programs. We did our work, but the Office of Management and Budget always releases its compliance supplement every year. So when we issue an opinion on the federal programs that we test, we have to refer to this document. It was supposed to be released May 2025. The federal shutdown has worsened that delay. And the OMB was not considered an essential federal agency, therefore it hasn't been issued. So we can't release that, but we are planning to issue an unmodified opinion, especially if there are no changes to the requirements. We performed our testing based on a draft document that was vetted by federal agencies as well as the Government Audit Quality Center. This year, we audited 2 programs, Title I Part A and Title II Part A. In previous years, we tested ESSER just because it was such a large federal program that has been exhausted fully. And then going forward, the normal large programs, IDEA B and Child Nutrition, will come into rotation again, which are those large programs are required to be tested every 3rd year. This year, Title I was required. A few required communications. You signed our engagement letter around February 3rd, 2025. And in the summer months, we issued a letter, I think it was dated July 1st, 2025, letting you know that we were on site and that there are risks that are embedded within any audit and their management override and revenue recognition, but it's our job to develop procedures to mitigate those risks. As I noted earlier, we didn't have any disagreements or difficulties conducting our audit, and because this is an audit, we're required to have independence of the district, and we assert that here today. There's a new standard that was implemented and is only included in your government-wide financial statements, and that was GASB number 101, or compensated absences. The premise of this standard is that not only are you reporting what is due to employees when they separate or retire from the district, but also an estimate if employees were to use leave as time off, what would that liability be? It blew all of our minds, but we worked through it, and this was just not applicable to Mesquite ISD. It applied to all governments across the United States, and so that has been incorporated into your financial statements, and you'll see note disclosures related to that. We don't believe that you consulted with other auditors or accountants as far as opinion shopping is concerned. You can contact any other firm. However, if we did have a difference of opinion and you did contact others, we'd be required to tell you that here today, and we don't believe that happened. We can get into the general fund budget to actual. This is what you see every month, but these are the final numbers as for the year ended June 30th, 2025. So your actual revenues totaled $434 million, and you exceeded your budget by $3 million. Your actual expenditures of $449 million were under budget by $5 million. You did have an other financing source of $2 million, which was more than the budgeted amounts of $2 million. Overall, your fund balance decreased by $13 million. And in the last 2 slides, we'll dissect your fund balance in the general fund and determine, is it a healthy fund balance in comparison to your expenditures, and what it means as you move forward with the district. Overall, your total ending fund balance is $122 million. The government-wide financial statements, this is, if we were to look at the district like a corporation, this would show the total net worth of Mesquite ISD. And we'll start with the assets and deferred outflows, which totaled $1.5 billion, with cash and investments totaling $247 million, capital assets, net of its accumulated depreciation or amortization, totaled $1 billion, and then you had receivables totaling $58 million. The bulk of that is going to be your state aid that's paid in July and August, but you earned it as of June 30th. So the state continues to pay your state aid in those summer months. The total liabilities and deferred inflows totaled $1.2 billion, which the largest part being $726 million in bonds. Compensated absences, which I alluded to earlier, totaled $5 million, and you had medical insurance liabilities, $6 million. And then the last two items, the net pension and net OPEB liabilities, again, are your proportionate share of that liability that sits at the state level. Your proportionate share is determined by Mesquite ISD's contributions into TRS divided by all the contributions of those participating. So this year, your proportionate share of the liabilities were $156 and $103 million. Tomorrow, you will not have to write a check for these two liabilities, but you'll continue to contribute into TRS at the statutorily determined rates, as well as the employees, and then the state also contributes on behalf of the district's employees. So overall, your net position is $275 million. When we look at the general fund and we dissect the different components, you'll see that you were right on target for your local revenue, which the bulk of that we'll see here in a bit is your property taxes. Your budget for state revenue was $312, actual was $316 million, and then your federal revenue was budgeted at $8 million, but it came in at $7 million. The bulk of that are two items: indirect costs for your federal programs that you recruit in the general fund, and then your SHARS revenue that has been dwindling over the last few years. The general fund revenue, as I mentioned earlier, in the orange shading, the majority of your revenue is for state aid, making up $290 million. You'll see state revenue is separated from this because that is the on-behalf revenue contributed by the state. So the TRS is contributing on behalf of the Mesquite ISD employees and to the tune of $26 million for this fiscal year, but that is also offset by an on-behalf expenditure. The state and GASB standards require us to record a book entry just to recognize what is happening at the state level, so it does not represent cash. The property taxes were $98 million, or 22% of your total revenue in the general fund. And then you have other local revenue, which the majority of that is going to be your investment earnings, and we've already discussed your federal revenue. Your general fund expenditures budget to actual, you'll see here that you were right on target for all of the functional expenditures, not a lot of variance. So this just shows you how close you were by functional category, which is always a good budgeting mechanism. But if we dissect the expenditures by functional categories, you'll see that 62.8% or $282 million are instruction and related services, with instructional and school leadership at $35 million or 7.8%. The second and third largest categories are student support services, which includes transportation, health services, et cetera. It totaled $48 million or 10.7%, and then your facilities maintenance was $47 million, which includes your utilities, any rental payments, any repairs and maintenance. And so you'll see here that also the general admin is 2.9%. So when we do peer district analysis, anywhere between 2 and 3% is a healthy general admin percentage, and you fall in line with those districts of your size and your operations. The total general fund balance you'll see dissected here, where we noted earlier that it was $122 million, with unassigned at $105 million and assigned at $16 million. For first rating purposes, TEA will take the assigned and unassigned and compare that to your expenditures to determine if you have the required amounts to issue that first rating that is assigned every spring for you. So if we look at this in comparison to your expenditures, you'll see that the assigned and unassigned expenditures are 27%. The Government Finance Officers Association recommends at least 25% or 90 days, and you're right where you need to be on those percentages. Remember that assigned and unassigned fund balance, any fund balance, is really used for one-time expenditures, not for recurring expenditures, because you never know what the future holds. So overall, you're where you need to be for your fund balance, and you should hold that moving forward as you expend in future years. Any questions?
Mr. Prado, I assume on the general revenue fund, where the state's picking up 67% from MISD, that's going to go up this current year because of the compression of taxes. Do we have an idea how much that is?
We are working through that, especially with, I'm sorry. No, Selena, stay. I want to make sure that you answer some of these questions. With the homestead exemption going up, that the board's just approved, so there will be some reconciliation that will take place.
So the states provide more for our district, less from local.
That's correct.
Which means the state has more control over certain designated funds and does not give us the flexibility that we need. Is that correct?
That would be an accurate statement.
Also, on the fund balance, with the budget deficit we got this year, how much is that going to impact this fund balance as of this report? Do you have an idea?
For the current year? Mm-hmm. Right now, we're looking at about $18 million.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Prado, I want to thank you. You emailed us the entire audit last Monday, so we've had a week to go through all the detail. And Selena, I was blown away by the detail that we received last year, this year as well. Y'all did an excellent job. I think this audit confirms the fact that our financial resources are being managed very wisely by our superintendent and also by you, Mr. Prado. So thank you very much for your oversight.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. With that, next we'll go to item C, which is the effectiveness report, the report on professional. Oh, this is an action item. Thank you. Board, this is an action item. I'll entertain a motion. The motion by Mr. Bingham, second by Mr. Everett, to approve the independent audit for 24-25 financial operations. Any comments or so? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. We could go to item C, effectiveness report. Yeah, of course I can. And this is going to be a report on professional learning. So, Dr. Rivera?
Yes. So we're going to welcome Jennifer, and she's going to be presenting our professional learning effectiveness report.
Yes, I am. Good evening, board and Dr. Rivera and cabinet members. I'm actually really excited to be here this evening to share with you the great work that our team has been doing. We have been busy, and I can't wait to dive into all of that work with you. But before I do, I can't talk about the work without talking about the people first. So I have to just quickly introduce you to my team. This is Director Jennifer Heiser, our Coordinator Professional Learning, Liz Remler, our TSS Coordinator and Lead, Dr. Cummings, which you might have noticed there's a few extra people here this evening. These are our TSSs, our teaching support specialists. They surprised me tonight by coming in support of our work. They are some of the unsung heroes of our department and do some of the most incredible work with our teachers, and I can't wait to share with you about some of the work that they're doing. And so they're a fabulous part of our team as well. Who is not here tonight is our administrative assistants, Chris Newman and Melissa Donahoe, and I have to pause and say that these two ladies are much more than admin assistants in our department. They are a part of every program and project and anything that we provide for the district. They are a huge part of making it come to life. They believe wholeheartedly in our vision, and they help us bring it to life as well. Our vision is that we are committed every day to ensuring that all MISD students are learning and are successful every day by equipping, empowering, and encouraging all of our MISD staff members, both in the campuses and at the district level. So what that looks like, this is what we've been working on, and you're going to notice some of the things that we're going to share with you are things that we are just continuing to work on, that we've been working on over the past few years, and some of the work that we have been working on are new initiatives, new projects. And so I'm going to give you some goal progress about both of those things. I'm going to try to move through some of these things quickly. We have consistently implemented professional learning and increased participation for all district leaders, campus leaders, and campus staff through lots of different ways. We are really trying to provide multiple opportunities for learning for every staff member in this district. We have successfully, starting last year, redesigned, implemented, and led the district professional learning days that are embedded in our school calendar. Our department now oversees that work. We are working very hard to make sure that there is alignment to both department and district goals and priorities, and we have been very hard at work in that work, doing whatever is necessary, whether it's directing traffic out on the road or whatever we need to do to make sure learning happens for our teachers and our staff members on that day. We're excited about the work that happens on those district days. We have successfully led the support and management of campus instructional coaches. This is our second year for those team members to be a part of our work, and we're excited about the work that they've been doing in building their capacity. We have continued the work of the PACE program, which lives with our great Jennifer Heiser, by adding a fourth cohort. In fact, she just sent out the invitations for the fifth cohort this week. We have continued to develop and provide robust first-year teacher support, which we're going to tell you more about that. We are continuing to provide support and accountability to over 531 current ETIP scholars that are serving in our classrooms and on our campuses. We have redesigned the online appraisal system, which is Strive and Eduphoria, and all processes for our campus staff evaluations, where our next step is working on district evaluations. This is one that's really important to us, is that we always take time to recognize and celebrate those that are in our programs and our work. And so we have celebrated mentors and first-year teachers and college graduates and PACE teachers, lots of celebrations in our department. Before I share with you some of the work that we've been doing in our department, I felt like it was really important that you have a clear picture of some numbers and some data that drive the work that we do, the resources that we provide, and really inform how we provide the support, the right kind of support to our teachers. So just wanted to paint a picture just for a minute before I talk to you about our programs, about some teacher information as of today in Mesquite ISD. Here's some just additional insight to our teachers. Right now, we currently have 145 first-year teachers, and I'm gonna refer to my notes because I wanna give you all the extra numbers that aren't on the screen. This year, we have 145 first-year teachers. This may seem like a lot. It's actually almost exactly 100 less first-year teachers than we had last year. This is the lowest number of first-year teachers we've had in 9 years. So lots of things that we could talk about around why that might be. But this year, we also have 170 second-year teachers that returned teaching this year in Mesquite ISD, for a total of 315 first and second-year teachers. Now, to just give you a little bit of insight to that number, that 315 first and second-year teachers is 11% of our teaching staff. Okay, 11% of our teaching staff are first and second-year teachers. One number that really stands out to us that impacts the support and the resources that we provide is the following number. Out of those 145 first-year teachers, we currently have 99 non-certified first-year teachers. Now, there are other non-certified teachers that have at other places, but within our first-year teaching group, there are 99 out of 145. So if we do the math, that is 44 elementary non-certified teachers. Now that 44 elementary also includes our PACE teachers that are going through our PACE program, the 29 middle school non-certified teachers, and 26 high school non-certified teachers. And that's just for our first-year teachers. So 70% of our first-year teachers are non-certified teachers, which has a lot of implications to the support that they need, the support that we provide, and we look at all of these numbers when we are designing support for our first-year teaching staff. Where we have seen some changes is usually those numbers, those non-certified numbers, are usually heavier in our secondary teachers, first-year teachers, but this year they're about half and half. We have a total of 55 secondary and 44 elementary, so they're right there together. Usually our secondary have higher non-certified numbers. Now, these are all teachers that are in programs. They're working on their certification. We have new legislation around certification, so we're working very hard along with Personnel Services Department to communicate with our non-certified teachers, making sure they're on track to doing everything they need to do to get certified, so that's a high priority for us this year. The next piece of information that I want to share with you that goes into really impacting the type of learning that we provide is when we look at our overall teaching staff, the average years of experience in the MISD teaching staff is 11 years. 11 years is the average experience that they have, okay? I want to show you the next few numbers. Again, as of today, this is the breakdown in number of years experience that our teachers have across the board. And so let's take a look. I'll let you look at that for just a minute. The breakdown by 5-year increments up until the 20-year mark. Okay, so there's some things that you may notice, that we notice right off the bat, right? First of all, I want to tell you, when you look at that first set of numbers, the 0 through 5 years of experience for teachers, we actually, the past 2 years, have been sitting at more of a 50% of our staff has 5 or less years of experience. So that has gone down, but you'll notice some of those have moved up to the 6 through 10 year group. And so that is 56% of our teaching staff has 10 or less years of experience. Now, this is not a trend that is unique to just us. This is a trend nationwide and in the state that we are seeing across education. So when we're looking at these numbers, again, I want to point out some percentages, just that 56%, 10 or less experience, and that is down from that 0 through 5 years, that's down from previous years. And we think there's some reasons for that we want to share with you. I wanted you to see these numbers so that you have a clear picture of who we're serving. And I also want to pause and say that this district has prioritized supporting first-year teachers. You've made it a non-negotiable. As a district, you have provided great resources and support for the work that we do there. And so we take this work very seriously. And so because of that, we have very robust systems in place to support new teachers, both at the campus level and at the district level. And we want to share some of the outcomes of that work. One thing that we're really excited about, these are some bright spots for us in this work. If you'll look at that first bullet, we average before this year 2023, 2022 and above, before that, we averaged 60 to 70% retention rates for our first-year teachers. I want you to take a look at where we are now. This is really exciting for me and my team when we look at these numbers, that we are up in 2023 to 79%, and this year we retained 83% of our first-year teachers. That is no small thing, and that is way above the state average. It's really a great number, and I'm really excited when I look at that. If you'll also look at the second bullet, This is one that kind of gets lost. This information kind of gets lost in the data, but it's a big deal, especially to our campuses who feel this more than anyone else. When we have to hire teachers in the middle of the year, and they jump on that moving train of teaching, they don't always get the same support and start, but we work really hard providing mid-year hire support strategically to those teachers. And the last 2 years, last year, 87% of those mid-year hires came back to Mesquite ISD. This year, 100% of our mid-year hires that were first-year teachers last year came back to teach in Mesquite ISD this year. That's a big deal, that they came in. The best. They're the absolute best. I take them everywhere. To come in at the middle of the year and start in the teaching profession as a first-year teacher, that's a really hard start, and we were seeing the loss of teachers that were starting that way. And so again, we did very targeted support for those teachers, and we're really excited to see those rates increase over the years. We think there's some really significant reasons why these numbers look the way that they do, and I want to talk to you about one of those that we think has been the most impactful, and that's this group right here, our teacher support specialist. This is also very unique to our district. Other districts do not provide support like this to their first-year teachers. Whenever we have the chance to talk about this program, people are just amazed that we have something like this in place for our first-year teachers. We've been asked to go to conferences, to go to districts, to go to programs and talk about our support, and this is the thing that people have the most questions about. What we love about this support is that their role is specifically for the support of new teachers. It is job embedded, in the moment support, coaching, mentoring, non-evaluative. It is on the timetable that works for them. They are part-time employees that work 17 hours a week. They are working less weeks and less hours, and we have less of them this year because of Title II funding. So if you'll remember, 3 years ago, we started with 80. Last year, we had 40. This year, we have 30, and those 30 are currently serving and supporting all 145 of our first-year teachers. That means they all have a very full caseload of support, and I'm telling you, none of them take it lightly. None of them take it lightly. They do way more above and beyond than just the instructional role that they have been hired to do. In fact, I hear stories all the time. My TSS came and picked me up when I had a flat tire on the way to work. My TSS paid for me to get my certification test done. My TSS brought me lunch and made me eat it while she took care of the kids. My TSS made me get out of the car and go into work today. My TSS showed up when I thought I was going to have a breakdown. They are teaching all of the wonderful fundamental things of being a teacher while also just supporting them through what is a very unique year in your educational experience, which is your first year of teaching. They show up in a million ways. And I wish you could hear our first year teachers talk about how instrumental this support has been for them, not only staying in Mesquite, but staying in the profession. And now more than ever, we need all the reasons for teachers to stay in the profession. And this group of individuals is a part of that work. And so when you look at these numbers, I'm going to tell you that these numbers, I feel like, are a direct correlation to the 3 years that we've had TSSs in place in Mesquite ISD. I will tell you they are all funded this year through Title II funding, which we have tried to really be wise about. Dr. Cummings leads this group. She takes care of them. She is on the ground with them. She's at campuses all over the district every week, making sure they are taken care of and our new teachers are taken care of. They are doing phenomenal work, and they're a huge part of the robust support that we provide in Mesquite ISD, and I'm super, super thankful for them. So they are a big part of what we do, okay? The next thing that I want to show you that's just a bright spot for us is our Pathways to Certification work. And like I said, y'all, Jennifer Heiser is living and breathing this work. She has been for 4 years. 4 years? This is fourth year, right? And she can tell you all the ins and outs of all of the ways this work has grown. She has been from the beginning growing this work, creating this work, and where we are right now is much more than just PACE. She has really pursued lots of opportunities and looking for all the ways that we can get people to becoming teachers. In fact, I feel like half the time I hear her next door to me having like job counseling with people who want to be teachers, and she's trying to find all the ways to make that path happen for them. You're going to see some PACE-specific information on the screen. We currently have 36 IWU graduates. And let me just pause to say what that means is that they were paras in our district. Most of them live in our communities, have kids who go to our schools. They were paras at schools in our district that now have a college degree because they went through the PACE program, and they're on their way to becoming certified teachers. And if you'll look at this chart, the non-certified means that's the group that has gotten their college degree, and most of that group will be certified by the end of this year. Okay, that not only are we excited about that for our schools, we're excited about that for them personally. Jen can tell you story after story of how life-changing this has been for these individuals that are in our community, that it's not just changed their trajectory, but the trajectory for their children and for their families, and we're really excited about that work. We've also expanded that work. Jennifer is now working to provide a cohort for those that are interested in being SPED teachers or bilingual teachers. A lot of that work, we are just getting off the ground, and Jen's working really hard on publicity and making sure we are communicating to all the right people to get them plugged into those opportunities. So along with that work, you may have heard there's some legislation about pathways this summer, and so I want to give you some updates on that. I want to make sure I gave you all of the right updates. So Jen is working with Dr. Hammett on that HB2 LASSO 4 prep allotment, right? I know they have spent hours working on everything that needs to be filled out so that we can pursue all that is out there. And I know Jennifer is going to be working with Dr. Rivera and Dr. Fields in the next few weeks, really making sure we have everything in by the December due date to pursue the allotments that are available through the legislation. Jen can answer any questions that you may have about the legislative work for Pathways, but we want to take advantage of any resources that are available there to us through that, and she is in the work of that. But just again to remind you, as of today, we have 83 total PACE teachers that are serving in our classrooms, 36 that have graduated college. And one thing we're really excited about is now that the word is out about our Pathways programs, this has become a great just recruitment tool. We have paras who are wanting to come to Mesquite ISD because they hear about the opportunities that there are to become a teacher, and so they're looking for jobs here, and we're excited to see them getting plugged into all of these options for them. One of our final bright spots I just want to share with you again is how we have implemented the new design of our 6 district PL days that are embedded in our calendar for the district. It is like conference, like mega conference every time we have a district PL day. Our district PL days happen at multiple locations. It is conference style with requirements and really differentiated learning for all of our teachers. And what we're excited about this year, all of our paras, all of our instructional paras are now involved in our professional learning days. And that has been a dream and a goal of mine, to see our paras having the opportunity to really be involved in learning. And so they come to all of these sessions as well. Again, hundreds of sessions, lots of locations, lots of learning being led by district and campus staff. Teachers are leading learning. We're really excited about what we're seeing unfold in our six district PL days. Now, just to wrap up, as we look towards the future, our department, we have some big goals. We have some big goals, and we have a lot of work ahead of us that we're excited about. And I'm not going to read all of these to you, but just to kind of give you in a nutshell some things that we're working on. We want to continue to elevate the quality and the impact of all professional learning that is provided in Mesquite ISD. We're working hard to create a professional learning blueprint that will help support people in designing good PL, that we will train people how to lead great PL, that will be transformative and really impact student success. We're working to continue to provide provide differentiated opportunities that are aligned to their experience, their role, at every staff member, really linking the learning to our district strategic priorities and our district learning framework. And we want to make sure that we're always coming back and collaborating with all departments to align the work, then prioritizing what are our strategic district goals and the documented areas of need. We want to make sure that we are providing exactly the right PL to the right people at the right time. Second goal that we have is to continue to expand and secure the teacher talent pipeline, continue to amplify our Grow Your Own initiatives, and all of that work that we're doing, want to continue to do that. Sustain that new teacher success. We're always looking at our new teacher support and how can we refine it, make it better, and make it meet the needs of the new teachers that we have in front of us. And then finally, we're continuing to look at how we can streamline the operations and accountability systems that our department manages, and that is really our T-tests, our evaluations, all the things that we do in that area, but also any resources that teachers or staff members need, that everything is available and aligned to what they need and when they need it. So a lot is happening, and we are passionate about the work that we do. I'm really fortunate and blessed to work with people that feel so passionate about all the things that we've shared with you this evening. But I want you to know, more than anything, we see all the work that is ahead. We look at all the work that we have done, the hundreds of sessions and book studies and trainings and resources that we've provided. And all of it comes back to, for us, every day we come back and we show up in order to equip, empower, and encourage these 2,835 staff members that stand in front of these 36,650 students of MISD. And we don't take it lightly to keep showing up and bringing our very best to them so that they can bring their very best to our students. So thank you, as always, for your ongoing support of our professional learning department and its resources. Again, we know how lucky we are. Not every district has the kind of support and investment that this district has for our department, and we really appreciate that. Before we leave, are there any questions that me or Jennifer or my team can answer? We're happy to answer any questions for you.
I do have one comment.
Okay.
You said you volunteer to do stuff, you direct traffic and all that out there? Well, you have another volunteer, he's very good at it.
Okay.
Dr. Rivera, I've seen him in action at one of our elementary schools.
We're gonna write that down, right? So next, in February, we'll be signing him up for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Of course. Thank you.
Because it sets the stage for good learning.
We appreciate
We're
that.
here for kids.
We are, and it means a lot to us.
Well, thank you
It means a
for what
lot to
you
us.
do.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Oh, yes.
The graduations, we
Yes.
love the PACE graduation, watching the comments, the faces, and how the excitement of the families and those
Right.
students
It's a
of
reminder
all
that-
ages.
Yeah, lots of good things going on, lots of great things happening out there.
I have to give kudos to Jennifer. I
huge.
saw her present, her and Dr. Rivera, down at the state convention, and did a great job when she can get a word in edgewise from the other folks. But she did a great job down there explaining the Mesquite story and the success
Yes.
we're having.
There's a lot of
Great
places,
job.
yeah, a lot of places that they're asking about what we do in Mesquite, and we're just happy to continue to represent the work that, again, that you guys allow us to do. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much, Ms.
Again,
Morris.
all right, appreciate
And
it.
Thank you for explaining why is it that this left side of mine is so heavy with personnel where the other side
Listen,
isn't.
these are the miracle workers right here. All right, thank you,
Thank you,
guys. Good
ladies.
night.
Thank you, and gentlemen, for everything. Okay. Next, we're going to item D, which is instruction. We have a report on bilingual and ESL district evaluation report. I believe Ms. Portillo, Carolina Portillo.
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, Superintendent, Cabinet members, and members of the community. My name is Carolina Portillo, and I serve as the Director of Bilingual and ESL Services. This evening, I have the honor of presenting the annual Bilingual and ESL Program Evaluation Report as required by the Texas Education Agency. All school districts required to implement bilingual or English as a second language Give me 1 minute. Do we have the clicker somewhere? Do you know? Yeah, I think so. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so all school districts required to implement bilingual or ESL language programs must conduct an annual evaluation in accordance with the Texas Education Code. Thank you. Gathering comprehensive data to assess program effectiveness and ensure student academic success. The data will include both the academic progress and language acquisition growth of emerging bilingual students, as well as reclassification numbers. Additionally, it will highlight the professional development and support provided to Mesquite ISD staff to enhance instructional practices and ensure the best possible opportunities for our amazing students. The slide demonstrates a powerful set of data. The information proves huge bilingual success. Bilingual English test takers outperform all other groups in both reading and math across all grade levels. It also shows important areas of growth for ESL. Students in this program showed lower proficiency rates, indicating a continued need for target language and academic interventions. Moving to sixth grade performance, students showed similar results in both reading with 65% and math with 71%. ESL students demonstrated solid progress, narrowing the gap in math by with 67%. In seventh grade, reading remained steady with 65%, but math showed a significant decline, which was 25%, demonstrating a clear need for focused intervention and support in both general ed and shelter instruction for ESL students. With the results in 8th grade, experienced an increase in the performance across reading, math, and science, around 70%. Social studies with 44% remains an area for growth, especially for ESL students. English 1 performance shows that 60% of all students and 54% of ESL students perform at grade level, indicating a modest gap for English learners. 10th grade English 2 scores improved with 69% of all students and 63% of ESL students reaching the goal, suggesting growth across grade levels. When it comes to math and science achievement, Algebra 1 results are strong, with 82% of all 9th graders and 83% of ESL students passing. Similarly, biology performance is high, with 89% of all students and 88% of students of ESL students meeting expectations, reflecting consistent achievement in STEM subjects. U.S. history scores are particularly solid, with 93% of all 10th graders and 91% of ESL students meeting expectations, demonstrating great performance in social studies and minimal disparity for English learners. Moving to language development, we need to analyze the 2 domain clusters individually. Listening and reading skills show a strong growth across grades, with an advanced height achievement rising from 14% in kindergarten to 70% in 5th grade. Reading also improves steadily through more gradually, with advanced height achievement increasing from 5% in kindergarten to 66% in 5th grade. When it comes to speaking and writing, we see that a speaking proficiency shows consistent growth, moving from 11% advanced height in kindergarten to 49% in 5th grade. Writing starts slower with only 3% advanced and advanced height in kindergarten, but improves to 48% by 5th grade, indicating a steady skill development over time. Language and academic performance of emerging bilingual students is monitored and evaluated every year. A specific reclassification criteria is set by TEA for students to be considered English proficient. When looking at our performance at the end of the year 24-25 at the elementary level, Mesquite ISD reclassification numbers grow consistently from 22 in 1st grade to 196 in 5th grade, showing increasing student readiness for mainstream instruction as they advance. Middle school shows the highest reclassification in 7th grade, with 127 students, indicating a peak in language proficiency growth during early middle school years. High school reclassification peaks in 9th grade, 95 students, and declines in later grades, suggesting most students complete reclassification by the start of high school. By law, school districts are required to closely monitor performance of students who reclassify during 2 consecutive years. Monitor students, in other words, former emerging bilinguals, consistently outperform the general student population across all grades and assessments. I consider this particular slide the best and most accurate summary of the program evaluation report. These students achieve near perfect scores in grades 3 through 8 and EOC assessments, demonstrating sustained success after exiting the language program. This reflects the effectiveness of the supports and strategies used during their time in the bilingual program. Notice the monolingual scores range from 57% to 78%, while former EB scores range from 97% to 100%. Monitor 1st and 2nd year students or former emerging bilinguals consistently score between 93% and 100% across grade levels and assessment, excelling in grades 3 through 8 and EOC Algebra 1. The only significant dip is in 7th grade, where monitor 1st year students score 66% and monitor 2nd year students score 45%. Still higher than the 24% of the general education population. Overall, these students perform exceptionally well after exiting the bilingual program. Oops. Texas has faced a shortage of certified teachers for several years, and this challenge directly affects bilingual and ESL instruction as well. To ensure students receive essential language support, our district has implemented bilingual exceptions and ESL waivers for the last few years. During the 24-25 school year, these measures allowed us to serve 541 students in Spanish bilingual programs with 24 teachers and 484 students in ESL programs with 35 teachers that are under these circumstances. Specifically what Jennifer was describing before, teachers who are not certified yet. While some staff transitions occurred, and certain teachers left the district at the end of last year, we remain committed to maintaining equitable instruction and actively recruiting and developing certified educators to maintain program quality. This slide highlights the professional development provided this year to support teachers of emerging bilingual students. Each month focused on key areas, from new hire and compliance trainings in July to curriculum, literacy, and assessment work throughout the year. all designed to support instruction and promote student success. With this slide, I would like to close the program evaluation report. It provides a strong summary of the efforts our department has led and remains committed to sustaining in support of our district's mission and our students' success. I want to sincerely thank our board members for their unwavering support and dedication. Your commitment makes these programs possible and ensures that every student has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you so much. Any questions for me?
Do you think that the sustained, like the students that are coming out of the emerging bilingual program, where they're really strong, is it because of the literacy skills they gained while they were in?
Absolutely, I do believe so.
Very powerful program.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Portillo, how long does it take to certify a non-certified teacher, one that just came to the district? How long does it take for them to get their certification?
I believe it depends. They left already because they are the specialists in the program. But I believe it depends on the situation of the person who is going through the program. I understand that some of those PACE teachers have already accumulated a certain number of hours, college hours. So the period that they spend in the program, I believe it varies. I'm not a specialist, I'm not the expert in the area, but I do know that depending on what they bring with them, then the path will vary.
Well, I apologize for putting you on the spot. Dr. Rivera, do you?
Yes, sir. It depends on the pathway. Residents, PACE, and non-certified teachers alternative certification program are all different, depending when you are. For example, Ms. Portillo was referencing teachers, paraprofessionals go to the PACE program. It depends on how many college credits they have, because they got to have 50, and they must complete the modules, and the modules are self-paced. It takes some longer than others. If they get after it, they can finish in 6 to 8 months, but if they don't, they can take up to a year and a half, and then it progresses until they finish their degree. Once they finish a degree, then they can take the certification test. Once they complete it and passed, I think it's a practice test. The residence is different because it depends on their degree plan, and then the non-certified have a maximum of 2 years to get your certification, and if they don't get it in 2 years, that's the maximum that we can keep them. Did I get everything right, Andrea?
We're down to a year now.
Oh, so now they got modified to a year. There you go.
Look at that.
I should have asked Dr. Henley the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Portillo. Great
No, thank
report.
you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Going on. Okay. So now we're going into item E, administration. First item is an action item to approve the campus and district performance objectives. Ms. Austin, you're on.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
So this process is not a new one. You know that I have lots of different improvement plans tonight, actually, for you to take a look at and for you to consider. The first two are our district improvement plan objectives and our campus improvement plan objectives. Just to walk you through that process, starts early spring with a needs assessment at the district level and the campus. We determine from that what are the performance objectives that we need to set, and then we develop strategies to support those. That work happens throughout April, May, June, July. We review campus improvement plans quarterly and make adjustments where necessary. What you are considering this evening are goals and objectives. You don't approve strategies because the strategies could change throughout the year as we determine, we know what we need to accomplish, but how we get there might be adjusted. So what I have for your consideration, you should have either in front of you or you've already seen them. And I have a feeling you don't want me to go through every single campus goal and objective. You have them, but I have them linked here if you need to see them. But that is what I have for you to consider. I will also add that we mirror the Effective Schools framework for campus improvement plans and the Effective District framework for the district plan, which is the model that we use for lots of things now with our different levers. They are aligned with each other so that there's some continuity from one dip to another sip. So that is what I have for you first. Yes, it is. Understood. You've had it for about 10 days. I'm sure if you've already looked at it and seen what you need
Yes,
to.
ma'am. So, Board, this is an action item, and I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
So there's a motion by Ms. Hornsby, second by Mr. Everett, to approve the campus and district performance objectives. Any more questions, corrections? Being there none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you very much. Second item is approve the targeted improvement plan. Ms. Austin.
The other half of the improvement plans I have for you. So this one I'll spend a little more time on because these don't come up every year. First things first are local improvement plans. So we have campuses that are required to develop a local improvement plan, also called the LIP. This happens if they miss 3 targets and 3 consecutive years for one student group in Domain 3, which you may recall from last month. Domain 3 is all about federal accountability, where targets are set for individual student groups and we have to hit the target. Those individual student groups could be ethnicity groups or special program groups like EB, Emergent Bilingual, or our SPED kids. So if we have campuses who've missed targets for 3 consecutive years in 3 areas for one student group, then they need to develop a local improvement plan. Campuses also that obtain an overall D campus rating also need to develop a local improvement plan. So the local improvement plan is part of the campus improvement plan. And if you saw the full plan, you would see its goal 6, which is called locally defined needs. And so that's where it lives. I've worked with the campuses that needed to develop one to come up with their performance objectives based on how their student group performed to make sure that they're back on track to hit the targets for this year so that that LIP is not a requirement anymore. But it's never a bad idea to have plans in place, of course. We review those monthly and check for progress and make sure that we are moving towards the goals that are set. You see the campuses listed there that have developed a local improvement plan, and those are also linked there. And if you, like I said, if you're looking at the document that I sent to you, it's just, I pulled goal 6 with the goals, objectives, and strategies that are in there for you to approve. The other thing that you'll see are targeted improvement plans. This is a step up from a local improvement plan. This is required when a campus is identified as comprehensive support in that same Domain 3. And that comes about when a campus is ranked in the bottom 5% of like schools for their Domain 3 score. And it doesn't mean it's a school that has even a D score. One of the schools we have is actually a C campus this year, but because of their overall Domain 3 score, that's why they've had to develop their targeted improvement plan. For that, it's a 2-year partnership, so even no matter how well a campus performs this year, they'll stay under that umbrella for 1 more year just to make sure things are solid and in place. So we'll do that with the partnership through TEA and Region 10. When we did the needs assessment with Region 10, so they've come out and done a diagnostic at our campuses. They've spent the whole day looking at all facets of the school, looking at drop-off and dismissal, movement through the hallways, cafeteria, focus groups with teachers and the leadership team, sat in on PLCs, and then also did classroom walkthroughs, and take all of that data and from that make recommendations and highlight areas where we need to really pinpoint our efforts. So from that, we developed the goals, objectives, and strategies for the TIP plan, and pending approval, I'll submit those then straight to TEA through a platform that they have. Those we also monitor monthly at the campus level, but they'll report out quarterly just to make sure that we're making the progress that we need. And if you looked at that, you might have noticed it's kind of a clunky document. It's a template that I got from TEA, and I really couldn't do much with it other than color code it so you could easily see that there were 3 schools listed. There's a lot of work on that document, but and it took a while to gather all of that information, but just know that that's not where the work really lives. The work's going to happen at the campus level. That's just going to help us have a roadmap to get there. So what I have for you now is local improvement plans and targeted improvement plans for your consideration.
Board, again, this is an action item. I'll entertain a motion. So there's a motion by Mr. Bingham, second by Ms. Collier, to approve the targeted improvement plans. Any questions, corrections? Being there none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you very much, Ms. Austin. Next, we're going to action item number 3, approve votes for a member of the Board of Directors for the Dallas Central Appraisal District.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Board members, as you know, Mr. Carville currently serves on that board of directors for the Dallas Appraisal District. I'd like to see him continue as one board member, so I would make a motion that we approve the resolution of Board of Trustees of the Mesquite Independent School District by casting all 40 of its allocated votes to Mr. Kevin Carville, Sr., to be a member of the Board of Directors of the Dallas Central Appraisal District.
There's a motion by Mr. Seward, a second by Ms. Hornsby, to approve the votes for a member of the Board of Directors of the Dallas Central Appraisal District. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you for your votes, Board. That's a very good board, and we're doing some things for the districts that I think is going to help us in the future, given everything that's going on, the politics in our school districts. Okay, next we have item number 4. It's discussion of district-wide intruder detection audit report filings. Mr. Morris is approaching.
Good evening, President Carbo, trustees, Dr. Rivera. This is my monthly update. We have had 18 intruder detection audits this school year. That's right at 35%, which is exactly where we are in the school year, about 35% complete. So they're right on time with keeping pace. We actually had 3 today that they performed. So I anticipate those continuing throughout the rest of the semester and year. And as we say every month, if there's anything that we need to report to you guys or any actions that we need to take, we would do that with you all in executive session. So we are not there, but just a reminder, we're 1 hour away from announcing finals tonight at the band marching contest. So we're in good shape. They're 1 hour, they're going to announce it. So.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morris. I have a report here that will take about now. That's all we have. At this point, we don't have any more items. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss? No? Well,
I did have one.
Go ahead.
Please. Somebody just buzzed me from San Antonio. Somebody from TASB was down there watching the bands. They heard one of our groups and said they did great.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Seward. With that? Huh? Yes, all of you have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you in December. We're adjourned.